Guys, finally getting around to finishing the review of the Cjrb Chord. This thing is an awesome little tactical-esque style button lock folder. This is part of that new line of button locks that Cjrb has been doing, and they've been knocking out of the park. And I am going to do this as a giveaway, so you've got to stay tuned to the very end to find out how you can win it. Guys, this is the Cjrb Chord button lock. This and the Riff were two of the more tactical releases that they had when they started doing these button locks. I absolutely love it. I thought I liked the Riff more, which I do style-wise, but as far as like in-hand and cutting and stuff like that, this is the champ. We're going to get into it. Let's first of all look at a spec sheet here, and then we'll get into some size comparisons. So your first knife for size comparison is going to be the QSP Pangolin, and because it was in pocket and the fact that they are very good size comparison, another small tactical folder, this is a really good size comparison. They're almost 1-for-1. Your second knife, as always, is the Benchmade 940, a knife that most of you guys are going to know the size of. You can see there, it's a good bit bigger overall than the Benchmade 940. And your final knife for size comparison, as always as well, is Cjrb a large 21, almost 1-for-1. They've got a very, very similar size. So let's get this out of the way and start talking about this awesome little knife. So the Cjrb Chord came out, and it was part of that new line of releases. I actually had the prototype of this knife here at the house when I came back from the California Customs Show. This thing, I kind of overlooked it. I really didn't give it as much attention because I was really, really enamored with the really cool stylings of the Riff, which I still love. But as far as function-wise and some of the negative things that I found on this knife, I found this to be better. This is a little bit more functional. It's got a little bit more handle. It's got a better feel in the handle, and it's got a better overall blade shape and design than a Riff. This thing is a very, very good little button lock, ARPM9 steel. It's done in a clip point with a really nice swedge here that gives you some good styling looks, and it's got a very, very good functional blade. You've got a lot of flat, and you still have a good bit of belly, which kind of bridges the gap. I like a lot of flat because most of the things I do, I'm doing down on this part of the knife. I don't need as much belly for a lot of the things I'm doing. It's done in the smoke or gray G10. I like to call it light blue, but hey, you know, I don't get to pick that. Like I said, ARPM9 steel, it has held up really, really well. It's got some scratches and stuff because it did do a good bit of work. It needs to be sharpened because I did dink the tip on this. So before I do this as a giveaway, which you gotta stick around to the end to find out how, I will be giving that a good sharpening. Stonewash on that. The handles are super comfortable in hand. So these G10 handles come down, beautiful liners that have been married up just flat with the G10, and they've done them black, so you still get a pop of color even though it's not shiny. I'm torn on whether I want them polished or I want them black. It just depends. They look really good. The texturing on the G10 has been really, really good, and the button lock on this, the button locks that are coming out these days from some of these companies are amazing. And Cjrb really stands out because they've released so many new models in these really good button locks. They lock up nice. There's not any problems with it. There's no blade play. There's no pivot pivot rock, anything. The detent on them is really good, so you still get a flip. Sometimes they can be soft and you don't get a good flip on them, but not these. Thumb studs on this. Ambidextrous, which is cool because it is an ambidextrous lock. You can absolutely use this both ways, and it has a reversible pocket clip. Like I said, in hand, really comfortable with that nice palm swell here. It's nice and flat here. Instead of having the curved spine, your additional curvature here fills the hand really well, and it's just a very, very good package. Now, I have found a couple of little negative things that I don't like about it as much, and we will talk about that right now. I know that no one likes to watch ads in the middle of a video. I don't like putting them in, but I do know that I gotta support what I do here, so I partnered with companies that I know I can trust. And today's sponsor is Coffee Brand Coffee. They're delivering quality coffee, freshly roasted on demand, ground to order and delivered to your door, and they're not doing anything political, so you don't have to worry about a company that you're supporting that is supporting causes that you might not agree with, because they don't support any causes. They just simply take the money and put it back into making a better product. So I would appreciate if you both support their new small business and my channel by checking out Coffee Brand Coffee and looking at their offerings. Use the link below and my coupon code Crazy Sharp on their website. It's Crazy Sharp, all one word, capital C, capital S. Let's get back to this. First and foremost, as much as I like this, and I like it more than some of the other knives, this is kind of thin, and when I get a hold of it, it wants to kick out of the cut. And I have to come around. I mean, it's not that big of an adjustment on this knife, but when I just grab it to go, sometimes it's just not, and it feels a little awkward for the first little bit when I do adjust that grip. Next is the pocket clip. This pocket clip, while it is a nice deep carry pocket clip and it allows you to carry it far forward in the pocket, for me is not as comfortable as some of the other knives that CJRB has released. The pocket clip isn't the pocket clip, I don't think, because I like this pocket clip on other knives. I think it's the placement. On this knife, it becomes kind of a hot spot for me. It's a little bit bothersome. It's not painful, but it definitely is absolutely noticeable. The next thing is also with the pocket clip, it does move. Some of these pocket clips, I don't know why they move on some knives and don't on other. It could be that this is flat and not as textured and things like that, but it definitely does kind of bother me. And then the last thing, I like the button lock flipper action on this, but the thumb studs are really close. Now, they've done a good job of making them tall, but the thumb studs are really close on that, and you kind of, it puts it in a weird position. I've missed them a few times, or not get a full deployment. So I wish there had been a little bit more of a material gap here between the thumb studs and that. I mean, they tried to do it with chamfering that on both sides. You can reverse flick off of it, but I have to really position myself in a specific way. And finally, they've done so many other knives that have got a spot for a lanyard, but don't have a lanyard hole. There's so many of their other knives that have got a post in there that you can run a lanyard through, or a backspacer with a lanyard post in it. I don't know why they went ahead and did a lanyard hole on this. I'm not opposed to lanyards. I just want the lanyard hole I just want the lanyard to be able to be placed in there without having the ugly hole in it. So, I mean, if that's all the negatives on it, I mean, it held its edge really well. It carried out day-to-day tasks. Oh, last thing, jimping. The jimping could have been a little bit more aggressive. It's very soft. So, but overall, another big win in the overall, W category for CJRB with these button locks. They have been amazing. If you have not checked one out, I'll be giving this one away on the channel. I'll mention that in the outro, but you can also pick these up. I'll put a link to this down below. I have got an affiliate link with Artisan and CJRB. I'll have a link to this down below where you can pick this specific knife up. I absolutely would recommend it. It's not at all anything that I would say to shy away from. It's an amazing little knife, and the fact that now we've got some really, really good button locks on the market is great. There you go, guys. The Cjrb Chord. This thing is great. All of the new button locks that have been coming out from some of these budget brands have been great. CJRB is just the one that sticks out because they released a whole slew of them at once, like 4 or 5 super good button locks all at once. Kaiser's doing really good ones. But these have been some of the best new button locks to hit the market. And the nice thing about it is you're not breaking the bank. Button locks were great, but there were no good budget ones. If you were trying to get a good button lock, you were looking in the $300 to $400 range. And that's not the case now. There's some of these out there that are as good, if not better, than some of the more expensive options. And like I said, you can win this. You got to be a subscriber. I will do this on a Saturday live feed as a general giveaway to the subscribers. So if you want to subscribe now, that would be the best way. I'm going to get it announced when I do the giveaway for this. So you'll be seeing it before too long. So yeah, guys, that's it on this one. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. Interacting with a video is the best thing you can do for a channel. It pushes up the algorithm. If you want to support the channel financially, I do have a handful of ways down below. We'll go through them real fast. I've got 2 sponsors. It is Temper Trail Coffee Brand Coffee. They share a coupon code of Crazy Sharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, Crazy Sharp. I don't think it's case sensitive, but just to be safe, but it is all one word. If you use the Coffee Brand Coffee link, it's built in, so you don't have to do anything extra. I've got a membership that's all tier-based. Everyone shares a bunch of different benefits, but everyone has the access to the chat server. Baseline and premium tier members are entered into giveaways where I give away stuff like this to them that's separate to the stuff I do on YouTube. And the premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series behind the paywall here on YouTube. And I have an Amazon store. Take that, pin it to your browser, copy that link, pin it to your browser, use that for any Amazon shopping you're gonna do. It supports the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Guys, that's it. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comments section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I will see you in the next video.